how's it going? How is everyone doing? I hope everyone has had a good Christmas. I'm actually filming this the day before Christmas, but by the time I post it, it'll probably be after Christmas, so I hope everyone has had a good Christmas. I'm super excited for the new year. Posting updates, so I will be posting every Tuesday morning around 9ish. I just want to start getting into the swing of things with a consistent posting schedule. So yes, I'll be posting every Tuesday morning, hopefully. Please forgive me if I forget to post a few of those Tuesdays. Today's video is going to be about moving out. It's just going to be a story time video, and then next week I will probably post a tips on moving out video for those of you that have not moved out yet. Like I talked about in my very first video, I moved out while I was still in high school. In my eyes, it's one of my proudest accomplishments because at the age of 18, it wasn't the day that I turned 18, but it was within a few months. I was financially independent and I had my own place, and I could say that I was adulting, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Yeah, very scary. So it all started halfway into the first semester of my senior year. And my friends and I, we were talking about, oh, we're all gonna be 18 soon, why don't we get a place for ourselves to live in? And of course, we weren't really serious about it. We were just kind of talking about it, just playing around with the idea, but it got me thinking that I really wanted to be able to move out. But the main reason that I moved out was because my parents are incredibly strict. Of course, I love them so much, but as I was getting older, it was a bit harder to follow their rules because some of them were kind of ridiculous. My curfew was sundown, which in the winter meant 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when the sun went down. I wasn't ever allowed to have sleepovers. I had to keep all A's or I was grounded. So just a little over the top, in my opinion. Not that I'm complaining about strict parenting. I really appreciate the way I was raised and the values that I was raised with and the morals I have now, but it was getting a little difficult, especially as I turned 18. So I started looking for places. I found a bunch of them that were just over my price budget a little bit, or that I didn't really love, or had a bad location. I almost moved to this one place. It was like 30 minutes away from where I'm living right now in Salt Lake, and I'm so glad I didn't because I really hate commuting, so that would have been really bad. And I was looking and looking, and I had been looking for a few months and I couldn't find anything, and I was getting really discouraged. And then I was talking to actually my boyfriend about it, and I just said, I'm so discouraged, I haven't been able to find a place, it's been forever, like I've been looking for such a long time. And he was like, Michelle, it's not that hard to find a place, they are all over Facebook, all over Craigslist. And I was like, okay, bet. You can't find a place. And he was like, okay, bet, I'll find a place within 10 minutes. And the first link that he clicked on was the place that I'm living at now. So I looked for a place for like 2 months and he found one in 5 minutes. So okay, good job him. Anyway, after I found the place, I looked at it, I loved it. There was the question of financing. A lot of kids, I know, their senior year of high school, they have like 2 or 3 classes. That was my case at least, because that was all I needed to graduate. So I only had classes in the morning and I was done around 10 every day. And so I was able to start working full-time at my restaurant that I'm working at. That I talked about in my last video, Things Your Server Wants You to Know. So I started working full-time. I signed for the place actually about a month before I moved in. The whole time that I had been looking for apartments, starting from when I started working full-time, I was budgeting money that I would need when I was actually living in the place. So I was saving up enough money for rent every month, even though I wasn't paying rent every month. I was saving up enough for car insurance every month, even though I wasn't paying for that either. So the day that I moved out, I had about 3 or 4 months of savings that I could just live off of just in case anything happened, which I definitely recommend because it has really took a lot of stress off of my financial planning. And if you know me, you know that I'm already a stressful person as it is. So I had a bunch of money saved up. I had the place, then came moving day, and it was around May of my senior year. So it was a couple months before I graduated. I moved all my stuff. So my apartment, I'll probably also be doing an apartment tour in one of my next videos, but the place that I'm in, it's actually the entire lower level of this house. And the house itself has 5 bedrooms in it, and the lower level has 2 bedrooms. So I'm in one room and my roommate is in another room, and then we have a shared bathroom, and we have at the time I moved in, my roommate wasn't living in the place, so I had enough furniture for my bedroom and also the living room. And the hardest part of moving in was my queen size bed, because I love my space when I sleep and I sprawl out, but that thing was such a pain to get through the door. You know, instead of sending people to prison, we should just make people move other people's queen beds. I think that's a great idea. Just make them do manual labor, but manual labor that's so frustrating and difficult. I was so scared I was gonna chip a wall or something, but luckily I didn't. Anyway, so that's what we should do to people who should go to prison. Instead of sending them to prison, just make them do annoying tasks like that. So yeah, for the rest of my senior year, I kept working full-time. By full-time at a restaurant, I mean on the average like 35 to 40 hours a week. Sometimes it was a little less than full-time, sometimes it was more than full-time. Currently, because it is Christmas, I'm working like 60 hours a week, so that's fun. And I learned to budget like a pro, and that's why I like budgeting so much. I think the hardest part of moving out, other than physically moving everything, was just finding the place. I don't know if this is how it is in other cities, but I feel like it would be. It is really hard to find affordable housing, especially if you're living by yourself, or if you're a student, they don't let you apply for low-income apartments, which I found really weird. But once I found the place, the rest of the process kind of just flowed by itself. One thing I will say though is that as a high school student, it was incredibly hard to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't have my parents with me to tell me to get up, and I just had to get myself to class. I was late probably like every day. Don't do that, kids. But yeah, overall, it was a really good experience. It was something that I learned a lot from. I'm really glad that I did it so early, because I now have this independence that I can have for the rest of my life, and start building on that. I would definitely recommend, if you have the means, or if you can come up with the means, and if you're thinking of moving out, definitely do it, because it's a really good experience, and I'm glad I did it. Alright, that is all I have for today. I hope you guys liked this video. Stay tuned next week for moving out tips. Have a great new year. Make some good goals for 2019. If you are on Christmas break right now, enjoy your Christmas break, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!